mean, I believe that, you know, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
Why you should never, ever give up. Recently I've learned of these 3 really good stories that made me realise how you just have to keep going, but it gives you a real sense that if they can do that, then you know what, I'm not giving up, because I know that they've gone through it and I need to do that and apply that same principle. So I've got 3 really good stories. Let's get into them, plus a bonus one I've got at the end, but I hope you enjoy them. I definitely have benefited from these 3 people who have not given up and got what they wanted, because I believe that if it's ever been done in life by anyone, you can do it too. Let's get into the video. So here's the thing, we all have something that we want to achieve in life, or many things we want to achieve, but often as we get older, you know, we're put off and we don't achieve them, we get rejected, we get put down, we get criticism, and then we forget why, you know, why we want it. But most people don't ever get to achieve what they want because they gave up too early. You know the quote, most people give up in life when they were just about to succeed, and that can't be more true. Whatever it is, professionally, personally, whatever it is you want to achieve, big or small, you can do it if you put your mind to it. And it's simple to say never give up, but this is why I want to give you these 3 stories. The next time you feel like giving up, you remember the greats that have gone before us and what they did to keep going. So the first story is all about this guy behind me, Colonel Sanders. He had a vision of creating a fast food chain that had his famous chicken recipe, and he wanted the recipe to get out to the world, but it's never as easy as that. You might have the intention, but the world might think differently. So he went out there and approached different people and said, do you like my recipe? They might have liked it, but they never often bought the recipe and used it. So what did he do? Well, he didn't just give up after the first no. And to cut a long story short, he had 1,009 no's before he got his first yes. And most people would give up after, you know, 10 no's. But if you can, you know, keep going and not give up after a few no's and have that mentality that you're always going to get a yes, so long as you keep going, get through the numbers, then it's just a matter of time, because he believed in what he had. He knew he had a good recipe. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your recipe, your idea? Because it's only a matter of time that the right person will come along and say yes to you. You have to go through the no's first. But this was a major story for me. Even Walt Disney, same principle, 302 times before he got the financing to build his dream of Walt Disney World. As he would say, if you can dream it, you can do it. Let's get on to the next story. Check this out. So I got my car washed yesterday. I don't know where this has happened, but all this like white paint on my car, that is going to be a nightmare to get off. All on the wheels. Nice.
I'm working on something now, something so new that the world will never be the same. Today, the impossible becomes possible.
So a reporter once said to an inventor, he said, how do you keep going even though you failed 1,000 times? And he said, I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that haven't worked, even 10,000 in the end. But he knew what he wanted. He wanted to make the light bulb. And we wouldn't have all these light bulbs around us right now if he decided to have not given up. He didn't see it as failure. He saw it as one step closer to what he wanted. You know, I saw the film The Current War the other week, and that just shows how determined he was. But like I said, you know, if he's done something like that, then what you want to achieve, you can do it. But you won't get it on the first go. Carry out experiments. But if it doesn't work, you're one step closer because you know what doesn't work and you know what will get you to the next level. Don't be afraid of failure. It's not failure. You either win or you learn something. You win some, you learn some. You never lose. You never fail. You just learn something and then you build for the future, and in the end, you'll get your light bulb. Let's roll on to the next story. Just finished a football session. I've come into the physio room to do a bit of stretching, post-session. But the next story I want to tell you about is all about Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. And his story is quite fascinating. As we know, big actor, and he always wanted to become an actor. He wanted to inspire people, but it didn't start too well for him. He was poor, he didn't have much money, but he knew he wanted to be an actor. So he got a few roles in a few, low-cost budget films, and it was not really going well. And then one day he went to a library, read this book, and it just really made him realise that he just wants to inspire people, and he wants to do that through acting and making his own film. So when he created his first film, he'd go to different film producers and they would turn him down, reject him, and he'd get loads of rejections. And he said that he went to over 1,500 people, but he went to the same people several times, got rejected. And in the end, he got one person to agree, and he got like $100, which was a lot for him, but it never really got him anywhere. But then, after watching a big boxing fight, one night he just sat down, wrote the whole script, and he wrote what is now Rocky, the first Rocky film. And to cut a long story short, he was offered a lot of money, but to not be in a film. But he wanted to be in the film. That was his intention. And he had to go through a lot of bad things. He had to sell his dog. He had to take his jewelry from his girlfriend to, keep money, keep it all going. But when he was offered this money, how could he turn it down? But he did, because he knew what he really wanted, and he wanted to be in the film. So in the end, he took less money to be in the film. What's even better as well is he actually got back his dog through the money he earned for this film. But it just goes to show how he knew what he wanted. He wanted to be in the film industry. He wanted to write and produce and be in his own film, and he did that. But it didn't happen on the first go. It happened after going through a lot of rejection, a lot of failure, a lot of down times. But in the end, he did it. And if we can take anything from this story, like all of them, overcome rejection, overcome failure, and in the end, if you know what you want, you'll get it, because you won't stop until you do.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
The biggest thing I like about the Rocky films is the quote. It ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That quote wouldn't exist if it hadn't have been for him not giving up. So there's value in keeping going and having staying power in things. This next one, Never Too Late. That's what the song was at the end of the Lion King film, and I tell you what, the message in Elton John's song couldn't be more true. Anything you want to achieve, it's never too late. Never too late to get back on track, never too late to start. You're never too young, you're never too old. And that song just really summed up that film for me and this video. It's never too late. Don't give up, because it's never too late to get what you want.